1, action.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Asking Why with Sadiq Daniel. You know, Asking Why is all about asking why, Challenge Startup School, we look at issues, life, business, and all the issues, and why we need to challenge Startup School. Asking why is the most important question that is asked the least, and that's why we encourage us to ask why, because why helps us to be innovative, why helps us to tap into our potentials. And you know, in asking why, I bring up guests, bring up people that have created work that matters, and we discuss issues, real life issues. And I have someone in the studio today with me, and today we'll be discussing the topic that says why you need to keep yourself up. Why you need to keep yourself up. I have someone in the studio, the person of Francis Okoro. Hi, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
All right, Francis, can you tell us your story? Can you tell me what your story?
My story. Okay. You've already called my name. My name is Francis Okoro. Currently, I'm a lawyer, though not a practicing lawyer. I'm practicing other areas that God has told me to go into. So I blog, I write, I speak also, and hold some seminars and conferences, but it wasn't always like this, of course. So my story, long version or short version?
Let's do a short version.
Okay, short version, I was the girl who was down and out, dead and messy. The girl trained by lots of wrong choices, wrong relationships, and in one of those relationships I actually had like 2 abortions, and it's all a story in my book. So I was the least person that anyone could think of that would come out with something great or amazing. I never even saw myself like that. But I'm here today, 2016, so 4 or 5 years later, and God has totally blown my mind.
What is story? Everyone has a story, and you know, when I have my guests on the studio and in the show, and I ask them what is growing up like for you, because I need to know what growing up is like for you, so you can actually learn from it and see if they can actually resonate with your story. So what is growing up like for you?
Growing up, I come from a aura that my family was broken for a while. My dad and mom were divorced for about 14 years or so.
Wow.
So I think that kind of set the tone for a lot of things that my young life was like. It wasn't like there wasn't love, but of course my mom wasn't a mom. So I just had this, I remember the first time my dad told me my mom was there, going to be in the house, I was like, just run the gist. And I remember crying, you know, just, it's really affected me and then the family per se. They used to have fights and quarrels and all this. So it's part of the reason why I'm really passionate about doing relationships and marriages God's way, because that's really the only way marriages and relationships can thrive. So apart from that, growing up was fine. I was an intelligent, brilliant girl. I was one person everybody wanted to be around in secondary school, in primary school, you know. Even though I was more like an introvert, some persons don't believe it when I say so. And I had issues of probably insecurity, and then issues of just rolling around not knowing that there's something higher I'm meant to do on earth. But it was fine.
Alright, see, back to what we're talking about today, why you need to keep yourself up. You know, it's a cultural instinct to wait to get picked. You know, everybody wants to wait to get picked. That's the reason why you go to school and you spend 5 or 4 years in school, depending on the course you're doing. If you're very close to the 7 years, then you get a resume, you get a certificate, and you submit your certificate to the HR of the company, and you wait till they call you. You wait till you get picked. That's the way school has taught us. That's the way environment has brainwashed us to do all these things. And coming out is how I met you. You know, I'll be going for my NYSC very soon. That's
You should get my third book on NYSC.
I'll be going for my NYSC very soon. I was supposed to go. It's long overdue, like 2 years ago. I was supposed to be serving my country in quotes. And everybody have been talking about NYSC being a waste of time. NYSC is a waste of time, and I don't want to waste my time. So I went to the web, started searching everywhere to see how I can actually do things without wasting my time. And I stumbled on your article on Bella Nigeria, a reflection of an corper, a meaningful service here, right? Meaningful service here. And I literally resonated with the whole thing, and that was where I connected with you, and now you're here. So when you got your call-up letter, and you realized that it was Ekiti, where you've never been before, what flashed through your mind?
My reaction to Ekiti will make more sense if you backtrack like some months before I got the call of letter.
Okay.
I was in law school, Lagos campus, and I really wanted to serve in Lagos. I wanted to serve at this big law firm in Port where they'll pay me big money and I'll be this big shot lawyer, you know. But I attended a Bible study where my pastor spoke on the will of God and how people just do things without factoring God into what they want to do. So my prayer point changed from Lord send me to Lagos to Lord send me to wherever you want to send me to. So, but when I still got Ekiti, even though I surrendered to wherever God wanted me to go to, and I knew Psalm 139 was a basic focus for me, that the days of my life have been numbered before I was born. And if He allowed me to go to Ekiti State, it's for a reason and a purpose. But I still had this teeny weeny, you know, thoughts of how is it going to be like? Yes, you know, and but I just told myself. That was in 2014, the end of the year 2014. It was a period of time where I also took some time out to ask God about my purpose and what He has planned for me. So I knew Ekiti State was not going to be terrible for me. I knew Ekiti State was not going to be meaningless. I knew it wasn't going to be empty because one God had told me I had to start going to schools. So that was one thing I knew I was going to do.
But I had already told you you was going to school ministry before you got your qualification.
Yes, before I got my qualification.
That was when you were still in law school.
After law school, actually.
Yeah, after law school.
During law school, I just was feeling this pull on me, like I'm meant for something more. I used to cry then because I just knew God had this big plan for me, but I really didn't know the specifics. So after law school, I took out a bit of time before the call-up letter came to just ask God, okay, what is it do you want me to do? And then one of the plans was I was to go to schools and speak to girls on the fact that God has a plan and a purpose for their life. Taking it from my background is understandable on the reason why God would want me to do that. I literally had no sense of purpose when I was in secondary school. I didn't know there was anything like God has a plan for your life or anything like you are meant to be more. So it's understandable that okay, God has raised me to be this person right now and He wants me to take that same message down to young girls. It's more tilted towards young girls, but the one I do in university is youth generally. So I knew that at the end of November, September 2015. So when the call-up letter came in November, I knew okay, this was going to be one big part of NYSC Year for me.
So what are the challenges you faced? What are the challenges you faced? And what did you learn? What are the things you actually got from the 1 year? What are the things you got and what are the challenges you faced?
Number one challenge in Ekiti.
Apart from
food. I didn't actually face challenge in feeding. I was in the weight loss journey, so I wasn't really buying food. My landlady,
so really, you were bigger than
yes,
this food?
Yes. I was like
I need to see.
Almost 100 kg.
I need to see those pictures.
So my landlady, apart from that, my landlady was always giving me food. You know, prayers are important because I found that when other persons were complaining about it being terrible for them, I just always met wonderful persons. I had free bike rides. I had like somebody just coming and they're like, "Corper, come in, let me give you a ride." My landlady, she doesn't see me for like a day or 2 days. She'll send somebody to come and check on me, free pandemia, you know, just all sorts of favor for the 1 year. But the challenges were really much, being that I was alone. What God did taking me to it, He pulled me out of traffic, in quotes, and took me to the desert, to wilderness, so He could drill me and purge me. And you know, such processes are always very painful because one, you are lonely. There was nobody really in Ekiti. So all my friends were in Lagos, and even those in Ekiti, I wasn't really connected with them per se. So I was just in my one room, reading my Bible, studying the Word, praying, and after a while, it just seems like I'm doing nothing, you know. So I remember on my bed, I was like, well, I'm not going anywhere today. I'm not doing anything today. so lonely, so alone out here. But when I came out of NYSC Year, I actually thanked God. There was a day I was going to church at VI Lagos and I actually stopped and paused and told God, thank you that you did not send me first. Like, thank you that it didn't allow my desires to come to pass. Because that was what I did. I gave my desires to pass to God. And then I asked him to just let his will be done.
Now you're a Christian blogger, you're a writer, you're an author, you're a public speaker, and you're a lawyer. So now I'm gonna pick something. That's the writing part because I'm a writer myself. I checked your blog and I spent a couple of hours on your blog this morning and even last night, and it was deep. You're a worded person. And where did that passion come from? What is the inspiration behind writing? Where did that passion for writing come from?
I don't know. From God. I would say when I was in secondary school, maybe like just one, just two, I have a passion or talent for acting. So I used to act dramas then. And then I was in the debating and drama society. So then we used to write scripts. So I used to write scripts then for drama. And then I had friends then in the debating society who would come and say, Francis, please string together my debates, my arguments for me, So I knew I had that kind of, I didn't really see it as anything then. But I think I grew apart from it. So university, 100 level, 200 level, that's when the whole brush with the relationship and abortions happened. So throughout the period when I was really in those relationships and really didn't know who I was, I don't think I ever knew that I had a gift of writing. But all of a sudden, immediately I stepped back and then gave God my life and became serious with Him. In 400 level, 500 level, I could be in class right now, lecturer is speaking and I'm scribbling behind my notes, just writing behind my. It just seemed to come like this rush of words. I'll be in class reading and then suddenly something just comes in and then I start scribbling behind my notebook and you see my journals and my jurisprudence notes and company law. You be like, this girl, did you go to class or what were you doing, Then afterwards, after I graduated, I started sending links because it wasn't just, the words were not enough for behind my notes anymore. So I started sending links on BBM and Facebook to persons. And then I discovered blogs also around that period. Now, everybody was like, well, you should get a blog, you should get a blogger. Me too, I knew I should get a blog because these words refused to just stay inside of me. And 2013, I finally took the step on the blog and here I am.
Alright, with perfect life.
Yes.
That's a long that's a long name. Where did that name come from? Where did you get that? I don't know why I'm asking that question. Where did that name come from? Perfect life.
Everybody asks this question. Okay.
And what is the story behind that name?
The first story behind the perfect life was my eyes. Okay, I grew up having screens. Then in secondary school, when they tease you or when they curse you, they tell you have a fast eye. Like you have they'll say the two eyes aren't I don't know how to call it. It's not like it's a defect. I'm not defected in sight. I see very clearly both long and short distances. But it's just when I look at you, the eyes
you won't know.
You won't know if I'm looking at you. Exactly. So the idea behind it was imperfect, but God is our perfection. So whatever flaw you might seem to have, body-wise, when I started it was just body-wise, God gives you perfection. Meaning that even with that flaw, you're perfect in Him. But as time began to go on, I started seeing that it wasn't just my eyes or my physical body that had imperfection. My life was imperfect. Based on me coming from a background of committing abortions and then rolling around with to the world, not a pure girl per se. So my life itself was imperfect. Now, He who was giving me this perfection was Jesus. So the idea was for people to come around on the blog and know that, okay, not just me now, I'm very real, I'm very open because that's a huge part of my writing industry. But then for everybody who comes around to know that, okay, your life, everything you do, your attitude, your character might be imperfect, but Christ, who is our perfection, can make us perfect.
When when you surrender your will to God, you're not perfect, not really perfect, but when you surrender your life to God, you have to be perfect. You have to be perfect. That's some deep something there. He said, be perfect. Even if it said be perfect.
That's the scripture.
That means in me you can be perfect. Even though you're not perfect right now, but in me you can be perfect. Now, I want to.
That's the scripture my blood is praying.
I want to ask you a question. Now, you have a tribe. I'm a person that likes, I don't know where that word came from, tribe. You know, people that follow you, I believe that God has given us a compass and we're meant to draw maps to them. And we're meant to draw maps so that people coming behind us will see what we have drawn and look at our maps so they can use it to draw their maps. Now, you don't know. You have no idea, but you have people that look up to you. You're now a role model to some people. Have you ever found yourself in a position where people ask you questions and questions that they think that you should be able to answer and you're not being able to answer? Have you ever been in that kind of situation before? And how have you been able to handle it?
I've never been in that kind of situation. It's really, because I think one of the gifts God has given me is word of wisdom. So when I get emails or when I go to places or events and someone just stands up and is asking me a question, I pray. That's the secret. So sometimes
pray inside of
I pray inside of you.
Okay.
For God to give me a word from you.
Right.
So sometimes even after writing that email or answering the person, I step back and I'm like, wow, did I just say that? You know, because God just gives me a word from the person. But in cases where I might not have a specific word or might have a general answer, I simply tell that person to go to the teacher who is the teacher of the teachers. Basically, have your own relationship with God. For him to tell you this area, I can tell you generally this is it, but then in this your case, I'm not too certain and I wouldn't want to give you a wrong answer, so just go to God and ask him to tell you what we want you to do at this point.
In your book, 10 Steps to Walking in Purpose, 10 Steps Walking in Purpose, talking about filling God's plan for your life. Number one, I'm going to ask you a question that, what inspired you to write this book? And can you share those 2 steps in this book? You know, there's so many books about purpose. You know, we have purpose-driven life. We have books about goal setting. And what really inspired you to write this book? And what are the things that you can't find anywhere else that inside this book?
When I tell people this book started from a reply to an email, they're like, what? Well, it's the truth. Someone, I send articles also to Bella Nigeria. So on my bio, there's a place where I wrote down that I also organize weekly youth seminars in secondary schools where I speak to the kids on finding and working with hospitals with their lives. So someone sent me an email arising from that, asking me some questions because she was confused about her purpose. And I saw that to type her a reply and then God said, this is a book. My first response was no, definitely no. You know? And then when I finally got it down that, oh yes, it's a book, what do you want me to say? I was like, you've already finished writing the book because the email was so long. You know? It was like, you've already finished but you're holding some stuff back. Which when it comes to things you can find in my book that you can't find anywhere else. My life is practically buried in 10 steps to walking in purpose. The first time God told me to share the fact that he had brought me from a debt and messy background to this person who has a reason to live right now, I cried because I just felt like I'm going to be judged by people. And then one of my many worries were, okay, who is going to marry me now? You're telling me to share to the world that I have share my story, share my sexual addictions in the past, share the fact that I committed abortions, share the fact that I've done this and that. Who's going to marry me now, you know? But that's a step in the book, share your story on your brokenness. Because the truth is, we might think that we've made mistakes, but in the sight of God, those mistakes have to be used for His glory. Something totally blew me away during the months following the release of the book. In December, I launched the book in Ekiti State, and when I came to
during your service here?
Lagos, yes, after my service here, actually. When I came to Lagos, my pastor was like, oh, Frances, let's do a launch for you again in the church. So share your testimony. And after sharing my testimony, we shared it in the my church has a big church and adult church. We said it's a big adult church. Pastor Nathaniel Bassi is my pastor. And after he spoke, yes. So after he spoke, and then I came up and I shared my testimony. I saw like big men and women standing up to clap and applaud. And I'm like, God, this thing was something I wanted to hide. How is it that you're using this for your glory? And people are just standing up to applaud a story that was dense and messy. So what people don't really understand, which is in this book, is you don't have to hide your story. Your story is part of God's purpose for your life. The things you've gone through are things that you feel the most burden towards. I feel deeply and passionately about the fact that young girls should not go into relationships that are not right for them because I was there before. I feel deeply about the fact that people should not go into relationships or marriages when they don't even know their purpose in Christ, because the things that I've gotten now are things that I know that if I had gotten married like then, I would have been making a big mistake. So I've walked that path. You have walked your own path. There's a reason why God allowed you to walk that path. So that's one of the first steps or first things that will stand out to you from 10 steps to your purpose. Another step that I really don't know if people see, after the 10 steps, you have like 3 bonus steps. One, launch activity. The second one, I'm thinking about is trust God for provision. When people now find out, okay, yes, I know now God has created me for a purpose, God has created me for a reason. How do I fund this purpose and reason that God has created me for? I shared my own personal story of divine provision. Most persons have plans that God has given to them. Most persons have visions that God has given to them. But then you speak to them like, why haven't you gone out with that? Like, there's no money.
There's no capital.
There's no capital. And they don't understand that when God gives you a vision or gives you a purpose, he might not give you physical cash per se, but he gives you faith. And he expects you to use that faith to bring a vision to life.
And even, I think it even brings, when it comes to the issue of capital, you know, I used to have that kind of problem. Like, I'll have these amazing ideas and I'll be having problems with capital. You realize that capital is not cash. You know, capital can actually be connections that you have and the people around you. And when I think, I don't have capital, I don't have this thing, and nobody just shows you someone. So this is someone. These are people that don't. If you know who really now start explaining the story, how you started and challenges and how he has been able to overcome them, you'll be amazed. And now, you said something that I really struggled with, man. You said, in working your purpose, you have to share your story. I've read so many books about purpose, read so many books about goal setting, and I don't see that. You know, share your story. Let your story out, let your story out. You know, 2 weeks ago, I had this idea of writing about my struggles, about the pressure that is attached to becoming 30. You know, the pressure from your peers, from family, from friends to succeed. You know, the pressure from, you know, when you look at your dreams and you're looking at things not going to be possible. You know, when we were kids, we wanted to be doctors and lawyers and all those things. And when you start growing up, it becomes so hard. So then you want to give up. It's like we're looking for someone to pick us up. Now back to what we're talking about. How do we pick ourselves up? We look at people right now, they're not doing what they're meant to do. It's beyond finding their purpose now. They've discovered their purpose, they found their purpose, but they are waiting for a validation. They're waiting for someone to tell them, okay, this is the way to go. You pick yourself up. The story, you know why the story is an amazing story, the story that really inspired me. Now I'm going, if I'm going to my service and I know what to do, I can now set goals on what direction to follow. Now, how do one pick themselves up? In this crowded market, in this world where there is too much noise, you know, you're saying something about traffic, God for where there's traffic to where there's no traffic. In this world where there is traffic, how do you pick yourself up? In this world where there are no jobs, in this world where there are no capital in terms of cash, in this world where the economy is bad, how do you pick yourself up? And that is what I want you to tell people now. How do you pick yourself? Because people now will be looking and saying, okay, I know the kind of person I'm going to aspire to be. I know my purpose, I know everything, but you know, things are not working. I need someone to tell me this is the way. What do you have seen this time?
Nobody's going to tell you what to do. Because everybody has something they want to do. And the least thing on their mind is you. That's just the basic truth. So if you want to pick yourself up, the first thing you have to do is be determined to pick yourself up. Yes, God gives you the plan. Yes, God gives you the vision. He gives you the encouragement. But the person who steps out of the house is you. someone else can do that for you. So basically, people want to get a, plan B, step 1, step 2, or what to do, but the only thing you can do is just get out and go. Really. The only thing you can do is to get out and go. During NYSC, I experienced times when I was so discouraged or so tired. I didn't want to finish the goal. I didn't want to finish the vision. I remember I mentioned that there were really no friends there per se. It was just this intense desire, passionate desire not to die empty. Because not to die full, not empty. Like not to die with what God has given to me.
With all your potential.
With all my potential has locked in. I think when you think about it in that way, it just serves to stir you up. Because even if there's a lot of traffic in the earth or on the world right now, not every traffic is being meaningful. Some are just playing on the medical level. People who play on the field higher than medical field are those who step out, are those who push. Nobody wants to push. Everybody wants to feel relaxed. I can't tell you the number of times I cried on the days or weeks leading up to my book launch. I actually felt ill about a week before the book was published. I could have said, oh, let me just relax and rest, you know. But I knew that this still had to come out and it had to come out now. So, yes, God gives you encouragement. The word was a comfort. The word was strength to me. But it took me putting on my shoes and leaving my house. It took me saying that I am going to see this to the end. I didn't want to be the third servant in Matthew 25.
The one that buried his talent.
The one that buried his talent. It's sad. It's pathetic, really. And when they ask you, okay, why haven't you done this? Don't you know? I know this thing, so why are you not doing it? You know this. To me, it's just excuses. Because that's what Jesus told me. It's just excuses. You're just being wicked and lazy. I'm sorry if the words I had, but that's the Bible.
Yeah, that's what we do in asking why, you know. We challenge what is, you know, we challenge that's the thing.
That's the Bible. He said, when he gave him excuses that, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I know you are this, I know you are that, I didn't want to go out, and then, you know, Jesus was like, you're just being wicked and lazy. Those are just excuses. Okay, why didn't you just even take just one step? Just try one, just do something. You know, just do something. And basically that is it. If you keep waiting for someone else to come and do something for you, nobody's going to come and do anything for you. Even if they are helping you and they see that this person doesn't have that drive, they'll leave you. One thing everybody has always said is, Francis, you're so consistent, you're so passionate, I want to be like you, I want to do this, I want to do that. And they're like, what drives you? What drives me is the fact that I do not want to stand up there after now and then Jesus tells me you are wicked and you are lazy.
And you didn't use your potential.
You did not use them.
You see, and that is what I, you know, when I go out to speak and I tell them that this is your capital. People have amazing ideas. This is your capital. They're not investors, and really, nobody's going to put money in your business if you're not taking a step. You need to take a step. I know school has contributed in making us stay and remain, and not challenging us to go out to pick up, to stand up to talk about whatever we're going through. Many of us, you know, the old dressmaker card thing, you don't have to talk, you don't have. So people who are just inside, they're keeping everything inside them, they're not coming out. They're not coming out to say what they meant to say, they're not coming out to share their story. It's not about sharing your story, you're not coming out to share your story. And I'm really happy that you're breaking the words, you're breaking them down. You need to share your story, you need to own your brokenness.
There's a unique niche for everybody.
Create a niche for you.
You don't have to use someone else's niche. You don't have to use someone else's path.
Or else you struggle.
You struggle. You don't have to go on anyone else's plane. Still you're playing. This morning the words just kept ringing in my head because we did the season of glory. God wants to raise his glory on persons. And then something just kept there. Pastor Shinto, who was one of our facilitators, he said something. He said, every one of you take glory in the realm of the manifestations that God wants to reveal through you. The manifestation manifestation he wants to reveal to you might not be the manifestation he wants to reveal to another person. You have your path, you have your story, all garnered towards you walking in the path that God wants you to walk in. So don't wait for capital. Don't wait for helpers. Most times helpers come when they find out that you're already doing what you are supposed to be doing. However small scale it is that you're doing it on. I started my blog on WordPress.com and then moved on to WordPress.org.
And you built it yourself?
I built it myself and paid the hosting plan and domain name with my savings first of all. Before now, persons might come and say, oh, I want to sew into this, I want to sew into that. I got up and started it up, you know.
And there have been challenges for you,
There's been challenges. It's not easy to take off from your savings and say, I'm going to use.
And what are the projects you're working on? And how, I know you said something about Awakening Youth, and so you have your blog. So how can people reach you, and how can people support your movement, and how can people buy your books too?
Okay. So basically, I spoke about the seminars I do in secondary schools and then also in universities and youth gatherings. It's all garnered towards getting youth to find and walk, not just find, but walk in purpose. So I do walks in secondary schools. I'm in the process of registering my NGO and making it formal, even though I've been on it for a year plus. So by April, we should have the NGO registered, the website running, and then volunteers are also welcome. Then also I do that same awakening seminars in secondary schools and universities also. So this year we should be having one within the land by June.
That's awesome.
God willing, yes. And what else? What other project? NYSC. It would be a shame for me to just waste my NYSC year and not bring out something for people to, connect with. I had a friend or a blog reader, now friend in the UK, who was telling me, Francis, you actually was the one who pushed away the fear from me from NYSC. I know now that I can use my NYSC for something when I come back from my studies in the UK. So I just want to get these resources together and get out for persons to understand. I know it's still not going to be all the youths who use their earning for whatever the kind of number the book is going to put in. Imagine having youths who just go and use 1 year to do great things, So that's a project I'm working on for April. And anyone who wants to reach me can reach me through email, corperfrances@gmail.com, or you can go on my blog on www.imperfectlyperfectlives.com. I'm on Twitter at Frances Okoro. I'm on Instagram at Frances_.
Alright, now it's Francis Okoro and it's asking you what I am saying Daniel on Weed Radio/Weed TV. Alright, it's been an awesome session with Francis, and we talked about why you need to pick yourself up. It is, like I said earlier, it's a cultural instinct to actually wait to get people. School is studying wait to get people. Society has studied wait to get people. Now we're in the connection economy, like you say, we're in the connection economy where you don't need to wait to get people. We have so many tools available. You need to understand that you have so many tools available for you to use whatever you want to do. She talked about how she started a blog by herself, how she built the whole thing by herself. Even for her thing here himself, he built the app of the Weed Radio by himself. We had the story of someone that learned tailoring via YouTube by himself. I learned how to cook with YouTube all by myself. So you need to wake up, you need to stand up, and don't wait to get picked. When you start doing something, God will reward you all what you need. God has given you unlimited potential to start to praise one of your mothers, and do not waste it. Thank you for watching. God bless you. I am Daniel, and this is Weed Radio.